This is just really hard to talk about.
Ow.
Good.
Hi guys, we're the No Frills twins. I'm Anna.
I'm Vanessa, and welcome to our first ever story time.
Ooh. So to get started, Vanessa and I really love story times on YouTube. It's one of our favorite pastimes. We always watch them and think, why do other people have such incredible stories? When will we ever have a good enough story to share? And now we do. The other day, we had a really close encounter with death.
And although this is an extremely difficult thing to talk about, we're willing to do so because we hope to spread awareness.
And hopefully prevent other people from similar deaths.
So let's jump right into the story. So it all began on a sunny average day.
And it all revolves around breakfast. I know breakfast seems like a mundane part of life, but it can be deadly.
So we were running late,
As always.
for a day in the studio, and you see, we were trying to cut corners to save time.
For breakfast, we normally have, coffee and porridge. That's our staples. But on this morning, we didn't really have time to make the coffee and the porridge. So we thought, let's make coffee flavored porridge.
Genius. It was absolutely delicious.
We went to the studio, we were popping with energy, we wrote a banger song.
Our outfits were poppin', our song was poppin', our energy was poppin', our breakfast was poppin', our balloons were poppin'. Wait, we didn't have any balloons.
Mary Poppins was poppin'. And we were so proud of our coffee flavored porridge creation that we posted a photo to Instagram and everyone was like, wow, that looks so good.
What cafe is it from?
And we were like, we made it.
So all day long in the studio, we were just so excited to go home and make the same coffee porridge for dinner.
It was a really long day in the recording studio. We got home at about 10:30 p.m.
And you see, we were just
Ravenous.
I usually make dinner a lot earlier, maybe around 6 p.m. So at this time of the night, I wasn't as switched on, I wasn't as aware and present.
Wow, Vanessa, this is getting very dramatic. I'm so excited. So there she was in the kitchen making dinner for the both of us, like always, sweet little angel. And I was yelling out to her, hurry up, Nessie, I'm really excited to watch some story times with you. So yeah, the porridge was on, smoking a little bit, smelling pretty good.
And then the tired version of myself grabbed that instant coffee. I didn't bother doing any measuring. I just popped open that lid and I just free-handed it, free-wheeled it, free-willy it. I don't know what the word is. A mountain fell out.
A humongous pile of coffee.
I knew it was too much, but I didn't think about the caffeine levels in it.
Basically, Vanessa just let the instant coffee decide for itself how much it wanted to come out. And I'm not even exaggerating, we probably had the equivalent of 40 cups of coffee. For some unknown reason, Vanessa thought that because we weren't actually drinking the coffee in the conventional liquid formation, that somehow the caffeine levels miraculously no longer applied. Boy, was she wrong. And then we were in for a night of devastating consequences.
So it all began about 1 hour after consumption when we went to bed.
Me and Nessie actually spent that night apart in separate houses.
So we had no idea what each other was going through. It was a lonely and cold experience.
Although we were apart that night, we both had really similar experiences.
My symptoms began with a headache and dizziness. As I laid my head down, the world was just spinning around me.
Spinning out of control. The first symptom I noticed that night was extreme irritation. Like whenever someone spoke to me, I was just so irritated and angry for no reason.
But that's you all the time.
Yeah, but more than usual.
I've got a floppy sock.
And the world was also spinning out of control for me, especially when my eyes were shut. Our symptoms just kept catapulting to more extremes.
My arms were aching.
My body was jerking and twitching.
My legs, I kept twitching them and kicking them. The worst symptom for me was the nausea, the really bad type, and I just couldn't get the flavor out of my mouth. And in my head, I just kept thinking over and over again what I had eaten.
You just can't stop thinking about it. You see the picture of what you ate in your head. It's floating around in your mind. And the worst symptom for me was the song we'd written that day in the recording studio, going around and around in my head all night long for 8 hours. Although that song was an absolute banger, TBH, no one wants to hear the same song for 8 hours straight. So the symptoms progressed and eventually I started having irregular heart palpitations, like extreme physical anxiety and this feeling in my chest like it was going to explode.
I started feeling like I was choking, like something was squeezing my throat.
Even yet, it did not occur to me what was going on.
For me, I did suspect that it could have been the coffee.
When I was eating the coffee porridge for dinner, I did think, this is very bitter, way too bitter for my liking, but I didn't want to say anything to Vanessa because I didn't want to offend her, because I did appreciate the fact that she did make dinner for me.
So So hours and hours went by and I literally couldn't sleep. I tried to go on my laptop and watch some YouTube videos, but that made me feel even sicker.
And the worst part was the fact that we had a video shoot the very next day and sleep was actually really important that night. I was looking at my phone, it was 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and I was getting very anxious that I hadn't slept yet. And when it reached 4:30 a.m, I decided to go and have a shower because I thought it might make me feel better, and it didn't work.
I eventually got so desperate that I thought, I'm gonna try count sheep, but something super weird happened. I was able to visualize the farm and the fence, but no sheep were around.
It's so weird because I never try to count sheep, and on this night I also tried to count sheep and there were just no sheep as well. It was so weird. I was constantly waiting for them to come and they wouldn't come and I couldn't see them. It sounds so very simple when people say counting sheep helps, but it's very hard to count sheep when there's no sheep around. I am hardly ever away from my twin, and as I was laying there that night on death's door, I thought, did I really have to be away from my twin on this night of all nights? I was actually very scared that I might die because I do remember reading articles about people who overdosed or went into cardiac arrest from having too many energy drinks. And I know the root of energy drinks is caffeine.
And as I laid there cold and alone, I thought about the biggest regrets and the biggest mistakes that I've made in my life.
What are they?
Well, my biggest regret was not getting those Celine Dion tickets before they sold out. I'm sorry. And the funniest thing is that we had no idea each other was experiencing the same thing.
We're super connected twins, and when one of us is sick, the other one can often feel sick as well.
I purposely avoided telling Anna that I felt sick because I didn't want her to start feeling sick as well.
I was laying there and the thing I literally thought about most was, I hope Nessie's okay, sleeping safe and sound.
That's what I thought. When Anna got home the next morning, the first thing she said was,
oh my god, I had the worst night. And she said, oh my god, same! And it only occurred to me then, oh my god, it was the coffee. We overdosed on caffeine. We are not making this video for any type of personal gain. We are honestly just trying to save lives.
This is no clickbait. This is the truth.
Not only was this a horrible night, but it's actually had long-lasting effects. We can no longer stand the sight of coffee, the smell, the word, the look, the mention about coffee. We were at Woolies the other day looking at the up and go drinks and there was this brand new flavor, mocha. We had to get out of there.
Life is a lot harder now, but I have a deeper appreciation for life.
We've got a lust for life now, like Lana Del Rey. We once loved coffee. It was a very big part of our lives and I loved putting my lips around it. You know, it kind of feels like a breakup. No experience in life is wasted because we have both really grown as people. We are more weary of seemingly innocent things. Our breath doesn't smell like coffee anymore when we talk to people on the street.
Our teeth are less discolored.
I mean, that's a bonus. There's a positive in everything, you just gotta find it. We consider ourselves very sensible, switched on young women. We don't drink, we don't do drugs.
We don't party, we don't have friends.
But we almost killed ourselves from this extremely underestimated drug. So you may consider yourself lucky that you've watched this video today.
And we're not saying don't live.
We want you all to go out there and live your lives, chase your dreams, but you never know. Your next coffee could be your last. So don't be greedy, just have 1 teaspoon of coffee.
Not 40, like us.
This is actually a true story, all of the facts are real, and we do actually hope that you guys are careful with how much caffeine you are having because it was really scary. We will see you in our next video. Bye!